because we're dumbasses don't mean you can be too. So don't do any of the we do at home. Oklahoma City's top 10 list has the fastest street race cars in the nation. With racers from all over the country coming for us.
Bring your little bald head ass out here. I'm finna kick your ass.
It's time to prove that our steel cars, it's so ugly that it's perfect, have what it takes. Because the only way to survive on these streets ain't going down without fighting, is to be an outlaw.
Grab his foot up his. Do it right now.
There is nothing more important than the #1 spot on the 405 list. And tonight, we are going to take a look back at every single season.
This is about to go down. That's street racing, player.
And the battles and the races that decides who ends the season at #1.
You're not here. Take it off the list. Where the is your car?
The #1 guy on the top 10 list is the baddest, fastest person on the planet. Keep it in your lane. I kept the #1 spot all season, but that didn't come without a price. This becomes a full-time job. It's no different than a football player or a basketball player. If they want to be the best in their sport, it is a 80.
Ain't nobody touching that car.
So let's start at the very beginning. Season 1, we were so much slower than we are now. The cars were totally different. It was a completely different game. So many cars have went big tire now. So many of the nitrous cars have now switched to turbos. Season 1, if you made 800 to 1,000 horsepower, you had a chance to be in the top 3 spots. Now, if your car doesn't make 2,500 to 3,000 horsepower, you don't have a chance of being in the top 3 spots. Back then, it was all about Murder Nova in that #1 spot.
Well, I'm calling out Sean. I want to make it special. Something like this one. King Sean. The Murder Nova's time has come. They can say I'm crazy, they can say I'm stupid, whatever. I think it takes a little bit of balls to call out the king in his own castle. Special delivery for King Sean. The reign of the king is finally ended. I'm calling you out. Right on. It's time somebody else takes over.
Doc by 3. Doc's #1.
Finally, 3 years. It's off my back now.
Doc managed to get that top spot for a minute.
Getting the #1 spot back from Doc's one of the most important things I got going on right now.
I'm going to need that spot back. I need to keep that spot. Off the trailer, no test pass. Get it on. I'm game. Spot in 500. I'll do that.
Doc cross center, left lane's your winner.
And then Dave beats Doc for the #2 spot.
Dave by 3 cars.
Then Dave and Jackie and that badass Sonoma call out Murder Nova for the #1 spot.
I'm finally calling you out. How about that?
That piece will never outrun me.
You're fixing to find out what the ever looks like, aren't you?
Lost your mind.
I ain't lost nothing.
Jackie's mouthing off. Tension's really high.
Why don't you just go ahead and hook that El Camino on the back of that Nova right there? Hook that what the Get that piece of out there Saturday night. We'll see y'all. We'll be there.
But back then, it seemed like Sean was always having car trouble and couldn't race.
That shaft arm is broken in half. It just snapped the shaft off of the Pro Charger.
Pretty bad.
Yeah, that ain't gonna work. It's done, man. It's cord showing all the way around the tires on both of them.
He showed up one night with bald tires.
If I have to buy tires every 2 weeks to keep the #1 spot, that's what I'll do.
It was always something with the Murder Nova. It was a very fast car, but it always showed up broke.
I'm that dip that shows up to a race on those tires.
Let's do this. Get it over with.
We never thought that truck, that crazy little truck, would outrun Murder Nova.
I cannot wait for Daddy Dave and Sean to race. I don't even care who wins, who loses. I'm calling the loser out.
Just as I start to shift into second, transmission blows up.
I want my spots back. I got to call the loser
Car's
out.
broke, so
Sean has a choice to either give me the spot, which I don't think he's going to do.
Take it.
I have a call out on Dave.
I don't want to race. Doc's calling me out for the #1 spot, and I'm going to make him wait.
You scared of a 3,150 foot?
I ain't scared of that car. Let's race it.
Doc calls out Dave. Dave has 7 days to make it happen.
The guy that won't race.
Dave not racing Doc for the #1 spot, that was just part of the games we played.
I'm going to get my spot back. The crown belongs with the beast.
At the beginning of season 2, Dave was sitting pretty at #1. And Chief and Sean opened up their own shop, Midwest Street Cars,
We did have a grand opening for our shop.
Grand opening party.
and we all had a good time.
I told y'all I can bonfire.
Yeah.
Be careful, it's a bad road. The cops are definitely coming.
But that didn't stop Sean from going after that top spot.
I've done a lot of work to the car. I got a bigger batter transmission in it. I went fuel injected. I've got a 210 Turbo 400 in it. I'll call Daddy Dave and I'll take the #1 spot back. As of Saturday night, you guys will no longer be the kings. This weekend.
About time.
Going into this race, we're going to take it to the track and try to get a killer tune. It went right down through there, but about 500 foot, something happened to the car. I'm racing Daddy Dave tomorrow, and the Nova's just dead on the track.
Okay, take your fat foot off the throttle, first of all.
My fat foot is on the brake.
It's right here, stuck shut.
So, faulty sensor. Only way to fix that is to tap on it with a hammer. We call it the technical tap. Come on, hit it.
Hit the piping.
Pipe. You always want it. No, don't hit the aluminum. Track the sensor. Just one.
Try it. Hit it.
Hit it. There it is. It's good. We good? Yeah.
I don't want to just beat Dave. I want to humiliate him.
Wow.
But that season, Dave proved time and time again he was willing to do anything to keep that #1 spot.
I know I got a hurt cylinder. If it melts the motor down, and so be it.
But that didn't come without a price. He'd put so much nitrous through that motor that it blew it up.
Damn. Dave by 3.
That Sonoma was so fast, it seemed like a cartoon.
I know it got a piston. I still had the biggest grin on my face. It was worth it.
Thanks, sir. Here you go, man. Good race. Burns the truck down and still outruns me.
They will burn it down every time to outrun you.
It's just make a good carburetor thing.
Damn it, I can't stand losing to that truck.
That's your daddy.
How's the truck coming? Is it back together?
Was never hurt.
You ready to run Saturday night?
See it start line. The truck's hurt, so I got to throw a Hail Mary and just outrun Sean.
There it went. Oh, that thing is fast.
If the guy is willing to risk it all and burn the motor up every pass to outrun Sean, how do you beat a guy like that?
It was worth it. I'm still at #1, and I'll continue to be at #1.
I have nothing for that truck.
As fast as this list was getting, I was still stuck in the bottom 5.
Derek by 6.
It is time to put a small tire car in the top 5.
that.
Yeah, hey.
Here we go, baby.
Don't go anywhere. We got a lot more Street Outlaws to look back at.
I came here to race this road.
There's a road right there.
It was pure pandemonium.
The third season started, and Chief decided it was time to bring his new, rebuilt car and go for the list.
Now's the time to go for the list with my car.
Yeah.
Let's pretend I'm 11. I got to figure out a way to get from here to there quickly.
Chief had been the race master for so long. Seeing him behind the wheel of the Crow in season 3, I knew that's where he wanted to be. So it was really strange watching him race that car.
Here we go, baby.
That was ridiculous.
That thing was amazing. But while Chief made fast moves to get to the top,
That was amazing.
10, 9, 8. Here I am at 7. Moving on up.
woo,
No one has ever climbed the list this fast.
Sean still struggled to get by Dave.
Tired of losing. Daddy Dave's been holding my crown.
Ready? We'll see. He can strap as many turbos as he wants on that thing. It still ain't gonna outrun the truck.
That was a good race.
Good job, man. Never said it wasn't. That's where it's at.
I had all kinds of car problems,
I don't really know what's going on there.
and I ended up pulling the death trap off the list.
Chuck, you got to call out on Dominator.
Yep. To be fair to everybody, I'm going to go ahead and pull my car off the list, fix it, and then I'm going to come back, call out number 10, and I'm going right up that. I think if your car is broke and you know it's not fixable in the next week, I think you should pull your car off the list, and when it's ready to go and tested, call out number 10 and work your way back up.
Daddy Dave's held that number 1 spot for way too long. Now it's my turn, and I'm going to take it.
And towards the end of the season, Monza took over the number 1 spot when Daddy Dave hit the curb.
Holy that was scary. Monza by 4.
I just feel like it's not right for me to race tonight if there's no chance at me moving up.
And Chief and Sean's scheming got them in trouble with the rest of the racers.
We got stuck racing down a road, and everybody thinks that y'all don't want to race down this road.
I'll race everybody on this road.
Then do it. It's in your blood to race, son.
And it's
I've known
gonna
you a long
happen.
time.
It's gonna
Yeah,
happen.
but why can't it do it right now?
No one cared what reason me and Sean weren't racing. It was pure pandemonium. Sean, just ready? Let's put on a show for the crowd.
I think Chief and Sean working together, they make a great team. Chief is better when he's got a student like Sean, and I think Sean works better when he has Race Master Chief helping him. So working together to move up this list is probably the smartest thing they could have ever done. But at the end of it all, Monza ended up in number 1.
Monza by 1!
That's what I'm talking about, bitches.
I beat Daddy Dave twice, so it ain't a fluke. Give credit where credit is due.
I'm ready to follow you right up to the top.
Hang on, hang on.
You getting it out?
Yeah.
Look at this. Starting new, man. It's so weird that we have Monza at number 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just that's short-lived.
In order to get back on the list, or at least get a shot, this has all got to work perfectly tonight. The odds are stacked against us for this to be a horrible night.
I'm thrilled that we got one test hit, but it's time to go.
In season 4, I had to race farm truck for my chance to get back on this list.
Farm truck's going for the list. You want to go for the list.
Let's set up a match.
MVPs of the list going at it to get back at 10.
Be like a veteran race.
Damn.
You looking for me?
Yeah.
Is this your new race truck?
It's just an old farm truck, Chuck.
Chuck by 1.5.
Man.
That's your money, dude.
It come a long ways. That truck will outrun a ass load of people.
Except Chuck.
Yeah.
I was ecstatic about being back on this list. My passion and my money goes into this car to be on this top 10 list of badasses.
What are you doing, boy?
My car?
This is your official call out for the number 1 spot. Loser has to race Big Chief.
You ready to get a lane?
Here comes Charm. We're going to give it everything we got tonight and see if we can hold on to the number 1 spot.
He's just been keeping it warm. Let's go get it back.
Back.
And since I was at the bottom of the list, I decided to put on my own small tire shootout for all of us guys still on small tires. Let's get 4 of our fastest small tire guys from around Oklahoma, get 4 out of town guys, throw in some money, winner take all.
Sounds awesome.
It's going to be like a major cash days, but only with small tires.
There's going to be a small tire shootout.
They trying to do something without us?
I'm going to put small tires on my car for the...
Why wouldn't you?
Somebody is going to walk away with $2,000, and that somebody is going to be me and the Crow.
Drivers meeting, come on guys. It's a $250 buy-in, winner take all.
The winner is going to get this right here. You smell that?
Oh, it's hot out here.
Oh, yeah.
Good thing you had all that money.
Wow. Chuck by 4. I'm going to be back in a you up.
Hell yeah, I can't wait. He jumped. Yeah, he jumped.
He's by 2.
Good job.
You look scared.
I'm scared at all.
That's right.
Chuck is a true to the game small tire guy. I'm here part-time looking to win the whole thing just for the hell of it.
What's he calling?
Chuck by half a car, but dude, there's going to be an argument.
I think I'll go down there.
Probably ought to run down there.
It was so close.
Can you go to the next frame? It's Chuck.
They say you won. Congrats. I want your spot. I'm going to take your spot. We'll see.
So it's official. Chief's calling out Dave for number 1.
Yeah. No, I want it bad.
Come take it.
Let's do it. Bam.
Damn.
The first time since the show had started, Chief was number 1 on this list, and it was in his car that he's had since he was 16 years old.
Thanks for giving me. Okay, good. Thanks for giving me the opportunity. That's all I had.
You took it.
There'll be more,
I guarantee you.
but I'm still going to put it on my big ass head.
All right.
I can't count the amount of time and money I've spent trying to get to the number 1 spot. It's cost time with my family, and it's cost time that I could have been spending on my business. Tonight, I am the fastest street racer in the country, and I plan on defending that for a long time.
Stick around, there's more Street Outlaws coming up.
I know it's coming.
I'm gonna do everything I can to show him why I'm above him on this list. I'm gonna get my spot back.
When season 5 started, Dave made it his mission to go after Chief in the updated Crow and take back that number 1 spot.
Good race.
Yeah.
Good luck, Dave. Now you gotta race Doc. How bad was it down there?
It's pretty bad. It was dog by a bunch.
Doc by a bunch.
I love you. I never doubted you.
Dave fell down the list. Meanwhile, Sean and the Murder Nova tried to get back up towards the top of this list.
We got Murder Nova calling out Monza for the number 4 spot.
I'm still kind of gimped up, but I can operate the gas pedal.
It is make or break tonight. I'm either going to kick everybody's ass or I'm going to smoke the tires.
I think I did pretty good for somebody crawling in a car with a broken hip.
Triple Man give you a drag race, didn't he?
Nice race, man. That was one of the best races I've ever had. I just took the number 4 spot from Monza, and now I want Daddy Dave's number 3 spot. Something I never want to do again is lose to Daddy Dave. Let's turn this bitch up and see how much power this road can handle.
Murder Nova by a fender.
Wow. Hey, it was a drag race. No matter who wins, it was a drag race. Thanks, man.
All right. Gonna be on top forever.
Dave started making plans for his future, and it looked like he was willing to give up spots at the top of this list if it meant he could drive his own car instead of someone else's. Somebody's building a big tire Nova. Whose car is this?
Remember a little discussion we had about the truck and how it belongs to Jackie, and I just drive it. So I jumped in head first.
This is yours?
That's me.
I don't feel like there's any negativity or any shame in driving someone else's car. Sometimes it takes a team effort to be number 1 on this list.
Man, I got a lot of stuff coming and a lot of work to do.
You got an assload of work to do.
I do.
When Dave fell out of the mix, it was Chief, Sean, Monza, and Doc that all played games to get to the top of this list.
Look, it's Doc and Hopalong.
I'm pretty agile with 4 legs.
Yeah.
What brings you gentlemen all the way over here?
I want my shot back at the number 1 spot.
The question is, if I win, will you give Sean his race?
If he wins and my car's 100%, I'll race you.
So tonight's the night I finally get to race Doc. At this point, if I can't outrun Doc, then I don't deserve to be here.
That's the baddest on the planet.
Bad man right there.
We set out to be number 1 and number 2, and that's where we're at. And with the roll that I'm on, may as well keep going. I'll race you if you're down.
Let's do it. I kept my spot. He moves up to 2. This is exactly how we planned it. It's worked out perfect.
In season 6, it was all about Chief and Sean, and then Doc and Monza going after that top spot. Sean started out the season by outrunning Doc for that number 2 spot.
I'm bringing everything but the kitchen sink on this one, and I might even bring the drain for the kitchen sink.
Both cars have been running fast as hell lately, so this is going to be a great race. Feel good?
It felt good looking over and not seeing him next to me.
And before very long, he called out Chief for number 1.
All right, man.
Good luck.
All right, you too.
Hey, I didn't bring the crown.
That's all right.
So-
I'll pick it up when I get home tonight.
Oh.
Sean's got the #1 spot by beating his best friend.
Why are you it shook its ass off.
Nailed you.
I'm out of here.
Daddy Dave brought his new car onto the list.
The name says a lot about a car. I came up with Goliath just because of my name, David and Goliath. Nobody ever beat Goliath except for David. It's perfect. I mean, I don't think there's anybody out there that's going to beat this car except for the beating I'm going to give it to outrun everybody.
But almost lost everything when he crashed his car at a track race. Golly. Dude, that whole body is twisted. Basically, the car is a total loss. But he left there with his life. That was the most important thing after that bad of a crash.
You want to see what it felt like?
Yeah.
It was something like that.
My shoulder.
Yeah, I heard. I'll take a screwed up shoulder over
Over what?
over being dead.
A lot of people don't have the drive or the passion to turn around and start from ground zero and build a brand new race car and then try to compete on this list again. It's not for everyone.
I can drive.
You're walking crooked.
I don't give a rat's ass.
I got this.
Yeah. That's all it's got to work.
The more seasons that went by, the more new faces came to the list. And I still struggled with the small tire death trap.
Is it fast enough for the list?
It's fast enough to take the whole list. When I first met Reaper, he seemed like a hothead. He seemed a lot like me. So I think he was very passionate about this sport. And he seemed that he really, really, really wanted to race with the 405. More and more, it looked like it was time for a change for me and the little Mustang that just can't keep up.
Ooh, what you got down there? What do you call it by?
However many you can count on your hand.
Long time.
Reaper by a long time.
Guess what? Season 7 is still all about Chief and Sean, Doc and Monza. Sean started out the season at #1 with Chief hot on his tail at #2. Doc was at #3 while Monza was right behind him at #4.
Oh, hide it up. Hide it. Everybody come.
I didn't even notice him walking in.
I hate to take a spot, but
And I hate to let you.
I've put a tremendous amount of work in the Street Beast over the last couple of months, and I am damn sure ready for my shot at #1.
My personal opinion, I would swing for the fence and put enough in my that I thought it would outrun him.
I'm going to do everything I can to show him, once again, why I'm above him on this list.
Doc tried to go after Chief, but after it failed, it set up the other best friends for a rematch for #1.
You gonna be ready for the race? What race? I'm calling you out. I'm gonna get my spot back.
That's amazing. The whole time I was #1, you couldn't find that.
It was missing.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Working on the old #2 here?
Oh, that never quits hurting.
Down at the bottom of the list, I started the season at 10.
I want to try that list out.
Call me out?
Yeah.
After Jackie called me out, it was time for some big decisions.
What are you going to do if Jackie just happens to make a pass and beat you?
If it happens, I guess I'm going to jump on the bandwagon.
Big time.
We raced. It did not go my way.
Jackie by 4.
After being knocked off the list, it's time for a change. I'll be back with some steamrollers.
Yeah, you're going to do that?
Yeah. Back at the top of the list, Chief managed to hold on to number 1. Until he almost lost everything in a crash against Brian Chucky Davis.
Hang on. Hang back, buddy. Oh, God.
The chances of getting in a bad wreck, that possibility is out there every time we strap in the car. Me personally, I just don't feel like it's ever going to happen to me. But if you race long enough, you're going to be involved in a bad crash sometime in your life.
Bad deal for Chief. Good deal for the rest of us, I guess.
That sucks.
So Doc, Sean, and Monza thought they had the top spots on lockdown.
Not just to the top, bitches. Doc holds on to the number 1 spot. Monza takes the number 2 spot. And we have, for the first time in a while, 2 nitrous cars at the top of this list.
And now Doc and I are right where we said we'd be.
I mean, he's got to know it's coming.
Until Daddy Dave rocked the list in Mike Henson's Plan B and took that Corvette all the way to number 1.
Turbos to the front.
Dave's been number 1 in 2 different people's cars.
Yeah.
Being off the list was probably one of the hardest things I had to do. To go out there and watch these guys race week in and week out, and my car's being rebuilt, basically, it sucked. As I started the long process of rebuilding the death trap, Chief introduced the chrome on.
Oh, that looks cool.
And brought it to the list. And that would change the game for the next few seasons.
It's fast out of the hole, isn't it?
But it was Daddy Dave that ended up being number 1 on this list. Season 8, Dave started off the season by shocking everyone.
Plan B is off the list.
Ooh. So Plan B is now off the list, and everybody moves up a spot, which puts me at 9. Dave takes the 10 spot with Goliath and then calls me out. In one hot-headed moment, Dave just me and Team Plan B.
I call Sean out for the number 1 spot.
Doc went after Sean right away, and they raced what felt like a million times.
The number 1 spot means the world to me.
They wanted that bad. Oh.
Damn.
That's what number 1 is. Heard it all by 3 coffins.
It's crazy. If the number 3 guy just can't get to the number 2 guy,
I'll come after next week.
All right, man.
Good race.
and you've got 2 cars that are dominating the list, the only thing they can do is race each other. It's a very lonely place to be at number 1 because all you can do is sit there and wait for that guy behind you to call you out week in and week out.
I'm living rent-free inside Doc's head right now.
That's a big head right there.
Yeah.
But when it all came to head at the end of the season, Chief managed to take over the number 1 spot. Sean fell down to the number 4 spot with Doc and Monza above him.
I got to call out on you. As you know, I don't want your spot. I want his spot. I'll race you whenever you're ready. If you want to race Doc, I'll retract my call out and let you race Doc.
Doc, we gonna go first off the trailer?
I'd like to race after Monza's race.
Me and Let's will race first.
Doc's gonna be a bitch and not race me until after Lutz and Monza race. That will leave Chief open to a call out of the winner of those 2. So I'm not gonna stand in Chief's way and let him get called out by one of them. So I'll just race him first.
What you got?
Whoa, nice job, baby.
Next up, you got Sean defending the number 3 spot against Monza.
Give us 110%. Bet that.
After sitting at number 1 for most of the season, there's no way I'm going to end up at number 4 on final list race night. I'm going to throw everything I got at it and see what Monza's got.
Monza by a car.
I know the Pro Mod belongs in that number 1 spot, and now's my chance to prove it.
Let's hear it.
Shoot by a bumper.
Okay.
Choose by a bumper.
New number 1.
Yeah, baby! Woo!
He did it.
Good job.
It took me a little while.
I started this season at the very bottom and worked my way up all the way to the number 1 spot. Nice job, Dave. Nice job. Hell yeah, baby. Me and Daddy Dave are the only 2 dudes that have started from number 10 and worked all the way to number 1. I'm the only one that's done it in his own car twice.
Meanwhile, I spent the entire season rebuilding my car, and I finally got to bring it out in a huge out-of-town race versus Memphis.
Hey, we're going to see what you're going to do in Memphis tonight.
That's
with
why
that
we're
straight
here.
ahead
That's
Bill
why
Cap.
we're here, yeah.
What you got on your mind, sucker?
What starts with M? Money and Memphis.
I was so excited to be able to race my car in an out-of-town race, but on the other hand, I was just as nervous.
She got chucked for 1,000 off the trailer. I got you.
This is not exactly how I saw my comeback race.
Get that slow out of here, boy. Get that slow out of here, boy. Off with your head.
But I'm going to get this thing figured out, and this is going to be one fast bitch. The difference between the Death Trap in Season 1 and now, the car has huge steamrollers on it. The car's about 500 pounds lighter. We left the small block in it. We left the 76mm twin turbos in it. All we did was switch the car from C16 over to methanol. Everything else was done in the chassis. New rear end, big tires, new cage, carbon fiber tubs, fiberglass doors, Lexan windows. This thing from the firewall back was totally brand new. Let's show these what we got. I want to make them be scared of the car. This is what you call a number 1 car. This last season was all about going back to the 405's roots.
What are you doing?
Making some life decisions.
Uh-oh.
I'm pulling my car off the list. Ain't no Pro Mods allowed no more.
Chief kicked all the Pro Mods off the list and started the season with a crazy list shakeup. I did well.
I told y'all that small block's bad. They ain't by a lot.
But after the 405 list shakeup, Daddy Dave ends up at the number 1 spot again.
What you know about Pro Chargers? We're switching. I'm done with nitrous.
After Daddy Dave decided to go Pro Charger, that left room for Ryan Martin to take over that number 1 spot.
I'm here to race.
Okay. Chris, what number are you?
6.
Cool. I'm number 5. Everybody just moved up one.
I'll race. Race? I knew you would.
New number 1, gentlemen.
You him up, and it's yours. All right?
That's right.
After running my car in the list shakeup and looking at the data we had and watching the rest of the races, I felt like coming back out there the next week, I had the fastest car we had on the property.
We are going to be racing for the number 1 spot.
All right.
No one could stop the big tire Death Trap.
So that's what this feels like.
Ryan was number 1 for about 5 minutes.
We'll call you back out.
And once I took that spot,
Choked by a fender.
I held on to it for dear life.
I'm not this damn nervous when I was trying to race up the list.
Being number one on this list for the first time was just incredible.
Chuck my two.
Chuck got it figured out.
There was 9 guys behind me that could be at number one at any week. So to be at number one on this list of badasses was like the best feeling in the world.
He ain't number one for no reason.
Yeah. It appeared that I was going to keep my crown and my number one spot for the entire season until Chief started making waves with the new Crow and moving right up that list. When I first saw Chief's car make passes on the street, I knew that he was not as fast as I was. It sure didn't 60 foot as fast as my car. But as I watched him week in and week out, I was definitely getting worried. Chief's car was really fast.
I don't just want number one. I want to know if I'm number one.
I've been waiting for you. But when we finally got to race for the top spot, I second-guessed the tune-up, and Chief kicked my ass.
First time I seen the car in front of me all season.
First time I seen a car next to me all season.
Chief by 1.5. That's a new number one?
I already called him back out.
You already called him out? Went down there?
Yeah. It struck a nerve when you got a number 5 guy calling out a number 2 guy when it was clearly the 2 fastest cars just raced for the number 1 spot.
If you'd have called me back out, I'd have said, yeah, we're doing it right now. All right, how long you need?
No, I'm just asking.
No, I'm 20 of your friends don't walk away like a man. How long you need?
Walking away like a I told you, and you knew what the I said.
Okay, cool, I'm sorry.
That's all I said.
I'm sorry. Let's do it. Let's do it whenever you're ready, bro. I'm sorry.
It ended up with me and Chief racing for a second time. We toned the car down just a touch. And I ended up beating Chief by 4 lengths after his car lost power.
Damn, number 1 swaps again.
So to end the season, number 1, it's a big accomplishment for me, but I know there's 9 other guys on this list that just watched this little small block kick their ass all year long. So I'm gonna go back to work. I'm gonna make this bitch as fast as I can. Next season is going to be insane. Sean is bringing out his new car. I'm gonna be faster next season than I was this season.
Told y'all. Be fast.
I know Chief is out there testing. They're all gunning for my spot. They all want to be number 1. But I can guarantee it, this is going to be the fastest list you have ever seen on Street Outlaws. But if you bitches want this, you're going to have to earn it.
Go under the hood and find out how we make our cars so freaking fast at discovery.com/streetoutlaws.